I'm not gonna talk about that though.
All right.
Hey,
I'm
how
gonna
you
do
doing?
it.
You want to spend no time with us?
You want to spend some time with us?
Okay, never mind. Delay that. John put a big plug in for you.
Will you adjust our
What time is
light?
it? We on? We live
Will
already?
you adjust our light?
No, we're not. Well, I click live. We're not gonna be live for another 6 minutes. I guess we are.
You can turn the camera
Am
around.
I
Personal
live?
business.
Are we live on YouTube right now?
Yeah, you are now.
Oh, now?
Yeah. So
But how long we been live? I was
just
talking
went
about-
live, like,
Okay,
Since-
okay.
since you actually-
I mean, I can take our mics out.
Microphone check. Okay, there we go. I got it. Buddy, what's up
Wait,
with you, Rob?
is he still 3?
What's up with you, Rob? I can't hear you.
Me? Hear me? Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Man, echo.
Okay, now I got you.
Check, 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 check.
Microphone check. We're gonna spit this out, everybody.
Check.
All right. Okay, from all my YouTube people, right? This is the beginning of the YouTube show. Our podcast, you know, the podcast pilot. We rocking it, all right? I got the real Rob over here. I got Big John C. In the house, we got the Rock and Rive.
Do you hit record on the camera? Just for...
We got Rock and Rive up in here. Hey, I look funny.
Funny.
Yeah, because I'm not looking at the thing. All right, we still doing the mic check and all this stuff. We're getting ready to go
You
live.
want the camera
live
on
in the
you?
studio.
You want the camera on you, Keith?
Hold on. Okay, we're gonna go live in the studio.
We've got about 3 minutes.
We got 3 minutes. We're gonna
3 minutes and 15 seconds.
see what you guys are seeing right now is you're seeing the behind the scenes thing. Did you just grab my mic?
Huh?
I caught it
You just
because
keep
it's about
going?
to fall.
Oh, okay. All right.
Pause.
You're not gonna spill that cup of coffee, are you?
Oh yeah, you can't be in the coffee.
I
bro.
don't spill.
My
Okay.
bro, you can't have the coffee
And,
up
and
in
you
here.
can give me that pad there.
They will kill us.
It's not gonna spill.
They will put that all the way at
This is
the
a
end.
perfect table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the way at the end.
3 minutes.
We ain't gotta worry about nothing.
Okay.
I mean, I would say put it
Countdown
on the
ain't
floor,
helping.
maybe.
Could you close the door?
It's been in there with spell.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, right, people, our podcast right now, it's this is the this is the B-roll. Is it actually the B-roll? This is the B-roll to
This
the podcast.
is the B-roll.
The B-roll. Hey,
B-roll.
give me some B-roll music.
This
yeah,
B-roll
B-roll
music.
music.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go.
That's our B-roll music. And the way we rocking this is that we got sound effects. Yeah.
How the
Thanks to
lights
Big
look?
John C.
Lights look good.
Lights, I don't know. I can't see. It looks okay to me. Camera look kind of weird.
Okay, we're at 58 minutes. 2 minutes. 2
Got
minutes
2
to
minutes to
live.
go. What was it? Well, of course we're gonna have another dynamic show. I'm gonna redo this the intro once the show starts. Because like I said, it's a live podcast. Not only is it being broadcast on YouTube, it's being broadcast on that other what's the other channel?
YouTube, Instagram.
TBCN, Tampa Bay Community
Oh,
Network.
don't forget us.
Hey, I gave you an intro. I give you another intro. And you know, this show is about everything. We talk about everything. We don't talk about that. We don't try to water down anything. It's like coffee, right? It's the real coffee, right? We crush the beans up. We put the water in, boil it up, boom, boom, pow. We don't give you none of that watered down stuff. We might put a little sugar in there, but you know, we ain't gonna put all that extra milk and stuff like that, and ice and stuff like
This is
that.
black coffee.
Don't make no sense. Black coffee, we're gonna give it to you straight, man. It's gonna wake you up, boom. Because as we go into the show, I'm gonna retouch on that so y'all guys can understand where we're coming from. And where we're coming from is from live. You know, we're different than the local broadcast and than than the media, the so-called media out here.
You got Surge in the back over there.
Um,
Oh yeah.
Got about
than the media, right?
about 30 seconds ish.
30 seconds ish. Okay.
Now it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, we're not gonna give you that garbage that they got out there. You know that BS. So we're gonna go through that as the show goes on.
you running
You'll see-
camera?
You'll see what's popping. You'll see what's popping off, right? Because a lot of media is watered down
15
and
seconds.
slanted. So
All right.
you give me time count. You gonna give me a countdown?
Yep. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are live.
Hey everybody, I be Keith and this be the B-roll. We call this the podcast palette. I got my crew up in here. I got Real Rob, I got Big John C, and we got a special guest today. We got the rockin' one, Rav. That's the man behind the man behind the man. All right. So understand what I'm saying? No? Well, you figure it out. I'll explain it later.
And we got
Yeah.
Keith. We got Ray that just.
We got
Should we
Ray.
let him
hold
in?
up,
Oh, he's
hold
gonna
up.
disrupt everything because he's gonna walk in late.
Senor
he's gonna
Ramon.
he's gonna-
Senor Raymond. What's up?
But you know you need somebody like him to disagree with you.
To throw everything off.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right. How's
right.
everything going?
I'm good, fine.
All
How
right.
you guys doing?
Everybody's all right. We got Senor Raymond. He came here right on time, almost just about. Nearly. But we're good. He's all good. We forgive him, right? Yeah. He's part of the crew.
Thank you.
You forgot to knock.
You know, the door's wide open.
Say
Hey, what's up? We got Uptown Surge. That's my man,
Got the
Uptown
famous Surge.
The famous Surge. The most famous of us all.
Everybody here today, man.
I would be on, but y'all couldn't afford me. To be honest.
Oh, we can afford you.
We could afford you.
Yeah.
We can afford you. We got a budget now.
Hold up. We ain't paying for that.
Do you want me
man.
to like?
We
Do
paying
you
for
want me to
that.
announce you next time, like
What?
live from the TBCN studios, something like that? You know,
You
have a little script.
You want to
know?
announce me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
okay.
want me to do that right now?
Announce me. Yeah, go ahead. Hold on,
Okay.
everybody. Go
Hang on,
ahead.
turn this
Kick it.
down.
Hang on.
Okay, we all should have known.
Wait.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Podcast.
I'm waiting. We're waiting.
There you go.
Live from the TBCN studios here in Tampa, Florida. It
Applause,
is
applause.
the IB Keith Show with our
Applause.
host, IB Keith. Is that your name, IB Keith?
Okay, that's good enough for now.
All right. I didn't know if you want
Hey,
to use
man,
your.
you forgot the applause.
Oh, well, how many? But I gotta. I have to get
Keep
that.
them.
We're good.
I got it.
We're
I'll get
good.
it. I'll get it. I'll get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, because we'll need those applause later on
Yeah,
for
yeah,
some of
yeah.
the
We
other
need the
great stuff
applause.
that I say. This is a great show. In
And
case y'all don't know
horns.
what this is about, this is a great show. This every week we're gonna have a great show. In the future, we'll have more hosts, and you'll see us doing stuff out in the studio with guests. So, but for now, we got the crew, and we just go over little, certain things, like all kind of topics like doesn't matter, religion, home life, kitchen table matters, politics, things that that
We
affects
need
the
to
world.
talk about food.
We need to talk about
Food.
What?
We like talking
Yeah,
about food.
we like talking about food.
Okay, that's personal. We're gonna keep that.
Why not? We
That's afterwards. Okay, if y'all want to talk food, we could talk food, but not now.
No,
We on Showtime.
we talking about good restaurants.
We're
to
talking.
go to
No,
and
no,
stuff
no.
like
You're
that.
talking too much now. That's the end. That's the end.
Oh
of
yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah.
That's
We can't give that away.
That's the end of season thing right there, man. Yeah, that's the end of season thing. Could you hit the door for me, please? Could you close the door? I appreciate that. That was Rav and Surge. They out, man. Yeah, those guys get it popping. Surge, we'll talk about this past Saturday that you didn't send me the address for. It was something that I was supposed to attend. Yes, and well, I didn't get the information. I'm the only one who don't get information. It's like, well, can I get the follow-up information? Nope. Well, anyway, I deviate. So what we're talking about is I'll go back to what we was talking about. What was we talking about?
We were talking about something.
Was no.
You mean like in the pre-show?
Pre-show. Oh no, here's what we was talking about. We were talking about before the show last week, right? I told you it was going to be historical. We were living through history. This show was living through history when the first time in the history of our nation, the history of our country, of our government, the very first Speaker of the House was fired.
Oh, sorry.
No, go run it. Oh no! Take that off. That's kind of inconsiderate, man. Don't accidentally do it again. Hey, turn that thing off. So, yeah. That's more like it. See, here's what we was talking about. When we knew it was coming. We knew the vote was coming, and Big John was telling me, he was like, yeah, it went through, and he was fired and stuff. And I was like, well, I can't really speak on it until I verified it. And apparently, I didn't think I verified that we went through it, but apparently I did verify that he was fired. But here's the crazy thing, right? The media, and I keep saying this, the media, they want to pretend that they're so liberal and that you got the liberal and you got the conservative media. And I've been saying this for nearly 2 decades. That's not true. That's not accurate. That's a fallacy. There's no such thing as a liberal media. They give you that perception, but then when it comes down to it, they all start with the same talking points. They all start with the same talking points. I'll give you a prime example. And this is a prime example of what just happened. The speaker, I gotta say John Boehner. John Boehner was 3 speakers. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 speakers ago was John Boehner. Kevin McCarthy, right? He's the Speaker of the House. He was just elected Speaker this January, right? After Congress had come in, the new Congress came over, and the Republicans took the majority. So, in order for him to get there, to become Speaker, he had to cut a deal within his own party with the most radical parts of his party. I mean, literally the most radical part of his party, which is they call them the cultists, the Trump cultists, the MAGAs, right? So he cut a deal. And in that deal, it was said that, you only need one person. One person can call for the speaker to be, a vote, whether there's a vote or no vote for the speaker, right? And so this was what Kevin McCarthy wrote, the deal that he made up, that he signed off on, right? So, okay. And you know what happened? Every Democrat said, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Because before then, I think you needed like 15 to 20% of Congress members to actually have to vote to recall the speaker, right? 15 to 20%, right? So that's what? That's 80 members or something like that? 60 to 80 members. So in this particular case, as I said, it went down not to 15 for sure, not 10 for sure, not 5% for sure, right? Not even 1%. It went down to one person out of nearly 440 representatives could, do a recall. So, and again, all the Democrats, all of them was like, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. He said, no, you want to be speaker. So, okay, what happened? They made him speaker, right? After I think like 17 times, they voted 17 times.
Oh, that's right. I forgot how long it took them to, yeah.
It was like 17 times that it had to go to the House vote to get the speaker. And so, well, no Democrats voted for him, period, right? Okay, that's not unusual, party line, right? You don't want the other party to become speaker when you're in the majority, right? So they then went and they finally got him after 17 tries. It was crazy. So as they moved along, right, they finally made him speaker. Somewhere down the line, like a couple months later, he made a deal with the president, right? Because the speaker has to make the deal. It's the speaker, right? He takes it to the Congress, he takes it to the House, vote, and they vote on it, right? They vote, And so what happened? No, they made the deal in what do you call that thing when you make a deal?
Negotiate?
No,
Quorum? Or
word.
not a quorum.
No, word. They agreed
Oh.
when you agree on something. In principle, they agreed in
Okay.
principle that this is what it's going to be, right? Okay. So now, as you heard a few days ago, Jesus, a few days ago, they were talking about shutting down the government. In other words, they were talking about reneging on the deal that, that the speaker, the former speaker, agreed to like 6 months ago. Okay, what's wrong with that? A lot, a lot, right? So then then the speaker showed that he was not a man of his word, because I don't know if you were following the Trump impeachment, but during the Trump impeachment, this speaker, when he was the minority leader, said no, you have to take it to the floor. We have to take a vote on whether to do this stuff. Blah 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 blah. Right? No one person can go ahead and say, hey, we're going to open up a impeachment inquiry or whatever, right? It should be voted on, right, in committee and all that other stuff. So what happened is that they opened up him, the speaker, the former speaker, Kevin McCarthy, said, no, okay, no, we're going to start a committee for impeachment inquiry, which he was screaming about was not fair. Okay, that's two things that happened, right? So now, just this past, the Sunday before, this happened last Monday? This happened last Monday?
Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday? Well, no, Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. We were on the air,
We
yeah.
were on the air.
Yeah.
We were on the air. So it happened Tuesday, right? So, so it happened Tuesday, right? The vote happened Tuesday. But here's the thing. The very same person, the very same speaker, Kevin McCarthy, on Sunday blamed the Democrats, all the Democrats, for the possibility of there being a shutdown, the government shutdown. What? What are you talking about? We voted, we had this agreement from like 6 months ago. That's what the Democrats say. So anyway, we go to the last Tuesday, they go to vote, right? So mind you, it's one person who initiated the process, right, to recall the speaker. That's the Florida congressman, the Northwest Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. You probably heard about him. He had this thing with little girls or stuff like that. What's it called?
Little girls.
Yeah, little girls.
What did he do?
Teenage, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember he had the thing, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? So anyway, apparently he got a pass in the court systems or something, but they opened up investigations on him. Who? Kevin McCarthy. People ain't telling you this, right? I tell you hearing it here, right? Kevin McCarthy, apparently Matt Gaetz has investigations in Congress on his behavior, because it wasn't just here, it was also stuff that was going on there that other people saw. That hey, this ain't healthy behavior.
What was
Okay,
he
guy.
doing? What was he doing?
Pretty much the same thing he was accused of. I think messing with young girls or something. It was inappropriate behavior. So, and for Republicans to say, hey, that's inappropriate, that, especially when you're going to vote for a guy who got like 30-something sexual harassment complaints and you're going to support that guy. You're going to turn around and say, exactly. That's a big blooper there, man. It's like, that's crazy. So anyway, this is Kevin McCarthy, right? So along with him blaming that and opening up the investigation of Matt Gaetz and the opening up the inquiry, the impeachment inquiry, right? Going back on to what his word was, right? Okay, and going back on the budget, passing the budget, because they put a temporary budget in place, a temporary budget, and they claim that that's why they fired him, that's why they got rid of him for working with the Democrats. Well, this budget was supposed to be in place 6 months ago. They agreed on this 6 months ago. So how was that the problem? So anyway, they passed this resolution, right, to continue, resolution of continues so it's for like 3 months, right? And then have to go to vote again. So what was I saying? Yeah. Okay. So now.
Really? 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 Make it stop.
Okay, man, you be sabotaging my show, man.
Yeah.
It's like the second time. One time, man, one time y'all even now. Let me turn my phone. Let me turn my phone.
We got even with you.
Don't vibrate.
Let me turn my phone down.
Everybody have your phones on airplane mode.
Airplane mode.
Airplane mode.
So anyway, so now here's the funny part. This is the funny part. I say all that to say this. Here's the funny part. And I talked about the media, how the media, they make this false claim of being a liberal media, which is BS. It's a mainstream media, no doubt, but it's not liberal, and here's why. They're all saying the same thing. Why didn't the Democrats save Kevin McCarthy? What? Hold on. It's the Democrats' fault that Kevin McCarthy was removed.
Well, I think.
What?
Okay, so.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. I mean, who knows? Whoever else they're going to put in is going to be more disagreeable with the Democrats. You know, because McCartney was, he was trying to work with both sides.
Flexible.
He was a little flexible. Now they don't know what they're going to get next. You know.
I hear where you're going.
Yeah.
I totally agree because they floating around Jim Jordan and he's a freaking moron. I'm saying the guy looks like somebody you don't want to have. Think you're a shicey guy there, right? And he got baggage issue because apparently a coach, the doctor at the school that he was a coach at or assistant coach was sexually harassing or taking advantage of students there, and it came to him and he said nothing. So. That's up in the air. But anyway, let's go to the other part about Kevin McCarthy. So they're blaming Democrats for not saving Kevin McCarthy. But here's the thing. When they voted party lines. No Democrat voted for Kevin McCarthy. No Democrat voted for Kevin McCarthy, right? So what would make you think that the Democrats' fault when he cut a deal that said, no, you have to go from 15 to 20% of Congress, right? My voice, okay, 20% of Congress, and all the Democrats, all the major Democrats, everybody who talked to him said, no, that's a bad idea, told him, and he went ahead and did it anyway. Cut that deal with the I guess they call it the MAGA, the MAGA extremists. Yeah, the MAGA extremists. That said that only one can call for your recall, have a recall on you. So how do you figure it's the Democrats? It's the Republicans. They're the majority, right? They're the ones. He's the one that came up with that deal. He's in charge of the majority. He was in charge of the majority party. So what does that have to do with Democrats? Oh, well, the Democrats should have voted for him. Why? They didn't vote for him the first time. However many votes that they had, nobody voted for him. And considering the fact that he's reneged on every deal along the way and blamed Democrats for the country, the country nearly shutting down, why would they vote for you? Why would you support anybody who's gonna lie to you, stab you in the back, and then blame you for it? Does that make any sense? It makes no sense whatsoever. So it's not the Democrats; it's the Republicans. It's this dysfunctionality. They talk about and that's the same thing. The talking point that the mainstream media is saying. Well, the Democrats didn't help Kevin McCarthy out. Well, okay, that's crazy. And I'll add a little caveat to that. You know that when they start flashing these names around for the next majority leader or the leader of, it's not the majority leader. It's the Speaker of the House. Generally, that goes to the majority party, but it doesn't have to go to the majority party. Whoever gets the majority of the votes. For example, if you get like all the Democrats say, okay, we're going to vote for our guy, and maybe you get about 7 to 8 Republicans say, you know what, we're going to support that guy too. He becomes the Speaker of the House. Period. In the discussion. Whoever gets the most votes for the Speaker of the House, that's who becomes the Speaker of the House. Even though the Republicans will still be in the majority, that does not mean that they have to have a Republican as the Speaker of the House, and vice versa. If the Democrats was in the majority and a Republican got the majority of votes for Speaker, then that Republican would be the Speaker of the House.
Back in the day when we weren't so divided, that might have happened.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. Back in the days, in the past, let's say 30 years?
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Maybe when Reagan was president, or
when Clinton.
Clinton, yeah.
Clinton, and when Reagan, yeah, okay. I'll give you Reagan too. Yeah, that could have easily happened. I mean, not easily, but it could have happened. But nowadays, it's majority. It's going to be majority rule. But that's being said, is that the way it is that the media goes along with that. That's the narrative that they're putting out there now, and that's what I was trying to say. Is that the media? I've said this many times on my live broadcast or my shows, that whenever the media, when people start saying liberal media, I said BS. Mainstream media, I give you that, but don't talk about liberal media, because they're not. They fan stuff, and they'll go that much. They may not go to the extreme where they're gonna totally lie about things. For example, Hillary Clinton, what did she say? She said something about MAGA people, cult members, and they may need to be deprogrammed. And so they go, oh, okay, and on the extremists, I'm not even going to say conservatives, but in the Fox sphere, Fox, Newsmax over there, they call themselves conservatives. I think they're worse than conservatives. So they will make stuff up like, oh, that's crazy, that's crazy. What she's saying, the government coming and deprogram. Nobody said the government coming and deprogram. She said they need to detox. They need to detox, because you can't sit up here and say that somebody with 91 indictments, right? 4 grand juries found this individual to be, liable. Well, to be I don't want to say liable. Liable is not the word, right?
Liable is not the word.
Not liable. Found that this person can be, tried, indicted.
Indicted.
Right. Yeah. 4 grand juries. People would have you believe that these grand juries are all liberals and liberals. No. That's not the makeup of a grand jury. A grand jury, I don't know if you ever had jury duty. They'll call you up, you'll come in, you'll sit in there for a week, blah, 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 whatever. And after that week, they'll send you home.
I can actually tell you, because I was actually on the grand jury.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
all the grand jury does is indict.
Is indict.
It's
setting
it up for court. Basically,
if it needs to be indicted. If there's indicted offenses,
they vote whether or not to indict an individual
to proceed with
right, it, or they throw it out.
If there's enough evidence, or lack of, if there's enough evidence, let's indict. If there's a lack of, then no, we dismiss it. Boom. All right. So, but the makeup of the grand jury, what people would like you to believe, is that you get all these liberals and they come in because a lot of people are used to jury duty. The reality is that the grand jury, they'll pick a grand jury, a year in advance?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it could depend on the demographic of where the grand jury is
Right.
being held.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
that's why I guess they were trying to get the Trump's cases moved to the in Georgia, moved to out of the county. I don't know.
Out of that general area where
The Atlanta.
where the offense actually happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
They wanted to go like to a state grand jury or something.
Right, to another location.
I don't have all the facts.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
in a area grand jury from an area that would be more individuals that would be more
Conservative.
lenient towards them. Let's not
Lenient.
even say conservative.
Yeah.
Because I find it hard to believe that there's no conservatives on that grand jury. But they saw that enough evidence to say, you know what? No, I think there's enough evidence to go here. But back to what I was saying, a grand jury is not like 5 days. You come in 5 days, sit there, boom. A grand jury, they pick individuals. I did a little research, and
There's not a lot of time that goes.
Yeah.
It's usually done within a half a day.
But and the reason why is because they have a pool
Yeah.
that they put together like a year. So if you selected for a grand jury, that's what I was hearing.
You're on cases all. You know, the way it was when I was, it might be different in different states, was
right.
there's a certain day of the week. I think, maybe grand juries in this area are done on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So every Tuesday they will call you and say whether or not you're going to come in or if they're going to postpone it.
Got you.
So on that given day, you might see, 4 cases, 5 cases.
Right.
Some of them are cut and dry, and maybe there's 8. In different cases. Well, in this case, a high-profile case, maybe they took all day to decide.
But
we don't know. But
I totally get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I'm saying they don't pick them. They give you notification that you're going to be on the grand jury. You're eligible
Yeah.
to serve on the grand jury. It could be like 3 whatever.
they don't know. You don't know
it could
what
be
case. You don't
four-
know what cases
not the
are going to
cases,
come
but
up.
the time
Yeah.
frame.
Yes.
It could be like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
They pick you like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, a
Absolutely.
year in advance. So then you're there. You don't know who you are. You don't know when you're going to serve. But for this time period, when they do say come and serve, then you go.
I was
and you
on the
serve
grand jury for 18 months.
18 months.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you were just there laying
They
around.
pay you for that?
A little bit.
But you were just there a notification that okay,
That's
be
what I
on
wanted to
standby.
know.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You're on
I wanted to know if
standby.
they pay you.
What? What do you say?
I want to know if you get paid for grand.
Oh, you say, all right,
You
all
get
right.
you
little
get
bit.
paid a
It doesn't sound like-
nominal amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you're on
That's a
standby.
minimum wage.
Yeah, you're on standby. So it's not like they said, okay, well, here's a jury pool, right? Okay, and they just pick you out of there. No, you're on standby for months at times. That's what I heard. In many cases.
It might be different in different, but the
Right.
way it was when I served, there were several cases per day
Right.
that came up,
Okay.
and it doesn't have to be unanimous like
Right.
like in court
Right.
in a jury.
Right.
It had to be, I think there was 18. I think it had to be like
18.
how many of us? 6. Yeah, I think there was 18 of us, and if more than 4 people said no, they throw it out. But
Okay, 18. So
yeah,
about a quarter.
yeah,
If a quarter disagreed, did they
Yeah.
throw it out?
yeah.
So
There's no hung juries in a grand jury.
okay,
Yeah.
so that's what they're saying. This is 4 different grand juries in 4 different jurisdictions, right?
Yeah.
That said no. There's more than enough evidence for this to go to trial. And what we started to talk about last week was that he was actually the stuff he actually did. Most of that stuff came up after, on his way out after he lost the election. I mean, for example, the call for the in Georgia, right? When he called the election, whoever runs the election down there, he did that after the election, right? After the election. So that's what he got hung up for. That's with the grand jury and all the people that tried to change the votes around. That's why they got the 18 indictments because of the stuff that they tried to do. And because of the way they did it, it was so large, it came under the racketeering, the RICO Act, which is a whole nother level. RICO is a whole nother level, right? So now that's one. Then you had the one in the one with the New York, the fraud,
Right.
right? That's another grand jury. I'm not even talking about E. Jean Carroll. I'm not talking about E. Jean Carroll. That's the one, the lady who sued him for defamation and for rape, but because it was, statute of limitations, that didn't happen, and she was awarded it. She was awarded. She got the win, right? So I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about the fraud. You got the fraud cases, and then what else? Then you got the Mar-a-Lago,
Right.
the secret documents,
Yeah.
and we were talking about that because I was telling you that when the former president was leaving the White House, everybody was like, "What is he doing with all the boxes?" And I was like, I ain't paying no attention to that. I'm like, hold on, there are a lot of boxes there, right? And then we find out a couple years later that they were secret documents. And so that's another thing that happened after the election. All of this stuff happened after the election. 3 of these grand jury indictments happened after the election. So he brought this stuff on him. I mean, before that, he had the tax evasion, tax fraud.
He never disclosed what his income was.
Right. They took it. they had to come and get that information from him, right? And he was saying, "Oh no, I'm going to divulge it. I'm show the world as soon as after I'm elected, I'm going to show it to the world." And after he was elected, guess what? Nada.
Never found out.
Nada. So they had to go in. They had to go in the Supreme Court. I think it went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court had to say, no, it's okay. It's okay for the government to research your stuff. And that's the other fraud. That's another fraud. Okay, now you got him lying about the records, about having the top secret records, right? This is part of these 91 indictments, which is lying to a federal office. You're lying to government officials. And it's like all of this stuff, I'm gonna say like 94% of these indictments that he's accused of happened after the election. Before that, the only thing he had was the taxes, was the fraud with the his properties. Talking about, hey, my property is worth X amount of $1 billion. Mar-a-Lago, $1 billion. That's what he said. But here's the crazy thing with Mar-a-Lago. When they upon further investigation, they found out that he actually went down to the tax assessment, right? The tax assessor, because in Florida you have the tax assessor. They got some new name, some new fancy dancy name for it. But the tax assessor go and say, well, your property is worth this much, right? And that's what they base your taxes on. That's for everybody, every homeowner, every property owner, homeowner, real estate owner in the state of Florida. So what he did, they sent him a thing for, I think it was 18 to $26 million. They said this is how much Mar-a-Lago is worth. So what he did, he went and argued and said, no, it's only worth $11 million. You hear about that? He went and said it's only worth $11 million. He went and literally, got it decreased. But then he went to the bank and said, no, it's worth $1 billion. It's worth $700 million.
Why aren't you paying that tax?
Yeah,
that amount of tax on it?
Exactly, but he's not paying the taxes on that that $1 billion. He's paying the taxes on that $11 million. If he paid them, I mean, he probably did because he had to pay it, or otherwise they'd have took the property. But so that's the kind of stuff that he brought on himself. And the media would have you believe that, this guy with all this stuff, the worst, Hillary Clinton is the worst part by saying, maybe the MAGA people should be deprogrammed. They need to deprogram themselves because, they're supporting this guy. You go, oh, no, it's a lie, it's a lie. How many times have you how much information you have to see that says this is debunked? This has been debunked. Do you need evidence that Fox News is lying to you? Well, we got that $787 million lawsuit that they had to pay out because they admitted guilt. Then we have the other one, the guy from where was he from? Venezuela or something? The Venezuelan, they were saying this Venezuelan businessman was directing this or that. They don't tell you about that, but I believe he won $150 million lawsuit. He had $150 million lawsuit. Dominion, and what was the other one? Dominion and the other voting company. We got Dominion.
Oh, the other. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the big one.
Yeah.
That's not coming down until on Fox. That's not coming down until 2024. They're gonna start that proceeding in 2024. That's the one for $2.8 billion. So here's my question: what more do you need to hear to convince you that, well, maybe Fox been lying to you? Maybe Fox has been lying to you. Maybe the media hasn't been doing their job. The media hasn't been doing their job. They would have you say, okay, this guy is, what Hillary Clinton said was so bad. And there's a young lady by the name of, to me, she's a young lady, Jessica Tarloff. I don't know if you heard of Jessica Tarloff. So she goes over it the other day and she goes, oh, so you're offended with all this fake rage about what Hillary Clinton said, right? Okay, what about calling Democrats pedophiles, commies, killers, unpatriots? And she just went through a whole list and said, you said nothing about that, right? But you get pissed off because Hillary said that some people may need to be deprogrammed. And not all Republicans, but some, right? So what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? And the media ran with it. The media ran with what I was saying with the Kevin McCartney. They're running with it, right? They're running with it because it sells. I think Biden said it best the other day. There could be an event that happens. A kid could jump in the water. A dog could fall. A dog could be in the water. Somebody could jump in the water and rescue the dog. But you know what you want to go with? The person who threw the dog in the water. Right? That's the big thing. It's the person who threw the dog in the water. Forget the hero. Let's talk about the villain. And so that's how it is. That's how it is. Because you never really hear Biden say, hey, Republicans. No, he gets some Republicans. He's specific. He goes, the MAGAs. The MAGAs. And that's true. That's true. They do it to themselves. They literally do it to themselves. They talk about the border. Okay, the border. You've been talking about Hunter Biden laptop for the last, year and a half? Now you want to impeach the president because of his son's involvement with someone that occurred when the president was not in office, and his son has never been in office, but you want to overlook the fact that the former president, while in office, hired his daughter and his son-in-law, we call it nepotism, right? That's nepotism?
Nepotism.
Yeah. Who took our plane, yes, American plane, to China and got about 7 to 8 patents while on duty, right? Official duty as a representative of our country. Whoa. Forget the fact that the son-in-law of the former president cut a deal with the Arabs to get $2 billion cash. $2 billion. For what? For something that he's not even his discipline. I forgot what it had to do with land or something, but it was something that he has no expertise in. So why? How did that happen? You just blow that off, right? Oh, no. Hunter Biden. Okay, let's talk about. I know I'm the one that's forget the aboutism, right? Let's bring up this subject. When people want to discuss the border, right? All the things that's happening in the border. Then you look at the people they're complaining with the border, but they're not holding Congress to their feet, to the fire to their feet. They're not pushing Congress to do their job. Why? Because the majority party is Republican. Because the bottom line is they've been doing this for the last 7 months since they've been in the office, since they've had control, and not one time have they sat down to pass a bill to allocate funds to hire more Border Patrol agents. No. The main thing is they want to complain about the issue, but they don't want to do anything about the problem. They want to complain about the border, but they don't want to do anything about the border. And now the media is talking about, Biden's talking about building, Democrats are talking about, Biden and the Democrats are talking about building more wall. Well, why is that? It's because the money was sequestered under the Republicans, under Donald Trump. The money was sequestered, I think, in 2019.
He's under pressure to
Yeah, he's under pressure to do what? To spend that money.
well, because the money was allocated for that purpose.
Thank
so
you.
he's fulfilling what
Legally, what he has
yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
If they don't want him doing it, then fine. Then just reallocate that money. But they're not reallocating that money, so it has to be spent. That's why he's spending the money, the additional money, to build more wall, because that's what the money was set aside for. It's like, for example, if you set aside money for somebody to, let's say, purchase something expensive, right? A house or whatever, right? And you got that money you set aside, and you say it's for this. And then somebody want to take that money and spend it for that, to buy a boat, to buy one of those jet skis. So no, you can't buy the jet skis because the money was set aside to put the down payment on the house. So you have to spend that money on the house. You cannot spend it for something else, right? You have to. There is no option. And that's what happened. In 2019, the money was sequestered and put aside and allocated to build additional fence or at the border. That's just what the money was set aside for. And
I think it's in Texas. I think
Texas. That's what they're what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Extending it from.
That's where the gap gap is.
Where,
Yeah.
where they have to address the major gap.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why they have to build more wall. That's what that money was put aside for, to build more wall. You have to. There's no option. But the news media, they act like they don't know, when they know better than us, right? They act like they don't understand. Oh, well, why are you going back on your word? You're not going back. They're following the law. It is the law. The law says that this, whatever, $5-6 billion, whatever, was put aside to build a wall, and it was never redirected to go anywhere else. It was still there, even though it was done 3 years ago. It's now hit its time limit. It is coming to the point where, it has to be spent. And it has to be spent to do what? What it was allocated for, what it was set aside for. This is what's going on right now. But the media wants to make it sound like, the president's going against his word. He's not going against his word. He's following the law. There's a difference, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference. If he had the option, you better believe he wouldn't do it. But here's another thing. Once again, I want to reiterate. The people are putting so much effort in trying to prosecute the president for something that they have no evidence for, and haven't spent one minute, 1 second to address the issue that they have the authority to do right now. They have the power to go ahead and pass legislation to provide another 5,000 to 10,000 officers, law enforcement officers on the border wall, for the border. Because you can't just send 100, we're going to send 100 people down. Yeah, right, yeah, sure. Come on, don't be stupid. And I say don't be stupid because you telling me that stuff, and for you to bring that stuff up to me means that you're stupid because there's no way in the world you're going to take 100 people, sit them down and say, oh, that's going to be enough. No. You got to put at least 5,000 Border Patrol agents. You got to at least hire at least 5,000 Border Patrol agents. You may not have to hire them all at the same time, but you're going to hire at least 5 to 10,000 Border Patrol agents to slow that down, to secure the border, to bring some kind of security to the border. All right? Let's be clear about that. And, I wanted to conclude by saying this is exactly why Democrats lose elections. And I'm a Democrat, not a liberal. Okay, I'm not a liberal. I don't go with those tags, right? I'm not a liberal. I'm a Democrat. Now I've grown up, and I had relation with camaraderie, with Republicans. That's it, right? I never call them conservatives. They don't call me a liberal. I mean, I've had people who don't know me.
That's respectful.
Yeah, that's respectful, right?
Yeah.
You're Republican, right? I'm not calling, don't call me a liberal. I'm not a liberal. Well, you're a Democrat. I'm not a liberal. It doesn't matter. I'm not a liberal, right? Why can't you call me a moderate? Why can't you call me a progressive? No, you call me a liberal, right? All right, then. So I can call you a whack job, right? Somebody said that the guy, I think I mentioned this, right? The guy from the Lincoln Project, one of the guys from the Lincoln Project, he was on there's this show, Valuetainment, right? It's this like rich guy, right? And he's having a conversation, and there's this other guy who's a stern supporter of Trump and stuff like that. He's MAGA.
Is it a TV show?
Oh no, it's YouTube.
Oh,
YouTube podcast, right? I don't just listen to Brian Tyler Cohen and Midas Touch. I listen to everybody. Come on, man. Listen to everybody. How else can I call this guy a fool or a buffoon? So like that. I listen to him, right? Hear what they got to say. Anyway, they was talking some stuff, and he called them. He just started calling them all kind of morons. I'm a veteran and da 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 da, as if that's supposed to justify your stances. I mean, come on, you gotta be reasonable, rational, and that's what I say. You gotta look at this stuff. You gotta look at all of this. That's what I try to do. I try to be.
So you watch and listen to and you read.
I watch, I listen to, I read.
What about Alex Jones?
Alex Jones is an a-hole.
Okay.
He's a buffoon. He's a hustler and a grifter, but he's doing it good. He's a wannabe Rush Limbaugh. But nobody, and I was one of the few people, believe me, that was giving Rush Limbaugh his props all the time. I did not agree with him, but I gave him his props. Rush Limbaugh was the juggernaut. He was the guy. Okay? You want to talk about Tucker Carlson, you want to talk about, what's that guy there, the freaking Joe Rogan? Yeah, what a freaking moron. That clown. He's a clown. I mean, he's a smart guy, but he's a freaking clown. I would never go to him for politics. And Sean Hannity and all these guys, they say, hey, these guys all put together, they got like 20 million viewers and followers, right? Rush Limbaugh had 25 million. 25 million.
Was that at a time where there was less competition, though?
He was still crushing the crowd. Yeah. Even when the competition came, he was still crushing them. He was still crushing the crowd because it was Rush Limbaugh. He's the one that started all. He's the one that really became the voice of the wackadoodle of the crowd of the extremists. He's that guy. He is that guy. Props to Rush Limbaugh, right? props to Rush Limbaugh. I've always wanted to give this guy props, his open props. So look, I'm a Democrat, and I'm giving Rush Limbaugh his props, right? So I can't be that bad a guy, right? So that's why Democrats lose, because we won't say what we need to say. We won't say how we need to say it. I mean, I listen to everybody. Senor Raymond, he don't agree with me. I gotta keep my eye on him. Keep my eye-
Raven's just sitting there wanting to chime in, but he's
Yeah,
just
I-
waiting for waiting for the right
I
moment.
like my peace.
He wants to speak.
I
I'm,
like
act-
my piece.
I'm asking for Mr.
He's actually sitting there sweating. I
like
can
my
see him
piece,
sweating
real
and saying,
Mr. Rob over there. Come on.
I like Joe Rogan, man. He
You
got
like-
the mysterious stuff he be talking about, like.
Don't listen to him.
He like Joe Rogan. Look,
Don't take him serious.
I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw this out there. We'll talk about the why.
Talking about
Democrats-
interesting things.
Yeah, we're talking about why.
Not just politics though.
Yeah, we're talking about
talking
why-
everything.
We're talking about why Democrats lose
Think about your
elections.
channel.
Yeah, we're talking about that too. But
So who's gonna have on the next show? I know you said you was gonna get some guests.
No. Oh, the show you're talking about is going to be an in-studio show,
Okay.
right? Finally, finally. I'm supposed to have someone. I want to work out all the details, all the fine details, but that's going to be the in-studio show. It's not going to be in the podcast room. I got to have you guys come in. You're going to come and help me out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, come
You might have to come pick me up.
Everybody come.
Thank you for telling me in advance.
Yeah.
You know, he calls me up. He goes, he texts me. He goes, Keith, you gotta come and pick me up. What? Dude, and I'm worried about you. I'm worried about Dora. I'm worried about everybody. Like, cause I'm trying to
Things
explain to
happen.
them with me.
Things happen.
Cause one time, I was told
you waltz in here 5 minutes to showtime.
5 minutes of showtime. It's like, no, you gotta be in at this time. I said, that's what I'm trying to tell him. So.
You just made it.
Yeah,
today.
I just made it. So that's what I was trying to explain to him. So I'm glad you let me know in advance. Let me know in advance. All right, we could do that. So, all right, did y'all see that? That was a hand signal. 5, 10,
No, it's 10.
10.
10?
It was from the angle, so I couldn't. So yeah, what was that? The Rogan and stuff like that. Because Rogan actually goes back. I think he was the guy who did the. What's that reality TV with the Survivor? Wasn't he Survivor Island or something? Wasn't that Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan. Did he like start this stuff?
Like Fear Factor and stuff like that?
Fear Factor.
Fear Factor,
Fear
yeah.
Factor. So he like really started all this stuff. Big shout out to Joe Rogan, but I would never do politics with him because I know he's kind of biased. And then you got that other guy. What the guy? The guy who had the talk show. Who got the talk show? Maury. He has a talk show. He's like this night. He's a comedian. Bill Maher.
Oh, Bill Maher.
Bill Maher. Yeah, Bill Maher. Bill Maher.
He's a comedian?
Yeah, that's where he got his roots from, and he goes back there, but he's not doing good with that. He sucks. So yeah, this guy goes. He's on Joe Rogan, a couple weeks ago, and Joe
Bill
Rogan.
Maher,
Joe Rogan goes to interview him, and he goes, "So what do you think about Biden?" And the first thing comes out his face. Biden's a liar. What? Where's that come from? Biden's a liar, right? That's what that. Thank you. It's like out of nowhere. So, and then they chime in, but Bill Maher will actually have you believe that he's the guy who threw the rocks and hides his hands. What that mean? That means somebody does stuff behind the curtains, and then they act like I didn't have nothing to do with it. But remember, I want you to remember these 1, 2, 3, these 3 names, right? Bill Maher, Jon Stewart, and what's that lady, Rachel Maddow.
Ugh.
They were the ones who were promoting
It's not a lady.
Bernie Sanders. When Bernie Sanders first came on the scene, they were the ones that were promoting him like heck. And then Jon Stewart saw that, hold up, he's like he's a little off tilt. But, so Jon Stewart was like, okay, fell off, but Bill Maher continued to do it, right? Then he started talking about, and TYT.
Go back to politics.
And TYT, they were doing it too. And,
Young Turks.
The Young Turks.
Yeah.
And
God.
then I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of them.
Oh, okay.
But well, if you remember back in the day,
Let me
go ahead. Yeah.
He started up in TV, public access.
Yeah, but
The Young Turks.
let me get the last one. Rachel Maddow, and here's why I said Rachel Maddow. They act like they had nothing in the creation or helping Trump win. But they were bigging up Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders was taking away support from Hillary Clinton. But here was the butt kicker, and we're going to talk Rachel Maddow. 2016, her birthday. 2016, her birthday, right? Rachel Maddow invited her over a show. She's like, okay. And because she was asking Bernie Sanders for like 2 weeks to come to the show. And he's like, no. So Hillary Clinton popped up for her birthday. Hey, Rachel, hey, thank you, Senator, Secretary of State Clinton, the former First Lady, and hey, and they're smiling, they're joking, right? So this was like on a Wednesday, I think it was. And the very next day, guess what? Take a guess.
What happened the next day?
Okay, we can go with that too. The very next day, she had Bernie Sanders on her show, and he began to bird dog Hillary Clinton.
He decided to show up.
He decided to show up.
He was waiting
The very next day. So now, during the rest of that campaign season, that was the blueprint that Donald Trump used. That blueprint right there. Whenever she did something, he would have something the next day. And then the media would also give him $2 billion worth of free advertising because he would do the same thing that he's doing now. He would do ridiculous things, and he drew the attention. And that comes with, what's his name? Howard Stern?
Yeah.
That's the Howard Stern. That was Howard Stern's mantra right there. What did he say? And there was this DJ in New York by the name Evil Star.
Star and Buck
Wild? Yeah.
He was Star and Buck Wild.
And this is what he said. Any publicity is good publicity.
That's where I heard that from, yep.
And while he was doing that, while Donald Trump was doing all that stuff, like now, he was getting billions of dollars of free publicity and drowning out everybody.
Well, like after he got the mugshot, that was
he ran it.
Yeah,
he ran it, which is funny, right? Because I'm gonna wrap this up soon. I want you to think about that mugshot. He then had to put a picture, his mugshot, on the T-shirt and said, "No surrender."
Hey, what happened to Evil Star and Buck Wild?
They faded out. But here's the deal. He put the picture that said "No surrender," right? What's that picture of? Think about that mugshot. What's that mugshot of?
It's him. Well,
surrendering.
Well, a mugshot doesn't mean you're surrendering. A mugshot means that you're.
He could resist it, couldn't he?
You know what? I don't think he can try to escape in a white Bronco or anything like that.
Yeah. But he could have still, he surrendered. He was surrendering over to the law. So and then he says no surrender. Then he keeps going to court. Oh, and the other funny thing was that's something else I'll talk about later. We'll talk about later because
there's no way he could ever escape because
he can't escape.
He's being protected by the Secret Service. They know where he is. 24/7.
Secret Service protects him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he decided not to go in, they still protect him.
Yeah, but they would say, well,
they still protect him.
This is where he's at.
Yeah, they'll say this is where he's at. Yeah. But, he just walked down there and said, okay, take my picture.
Yeah.
So he basically surrendered, which is the funny thing.
I'm 6'4" and 215 pounds.
6'4", a regular Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, 6'4". No, Michael Jordan was 6'6". Yeah. Michael Jordan was 6'6". What's that other guy? Steph Curry, a regular Steph Curry.
Michael Jordan.
What was that? So I say all that to say this. This has been a great show, and I'm glad that people here supporting us. Again, this is TBCN, and we are in the new Rhythm Mall. You can see Rhythm Mall on Fowler. You'll see Rhythm, RITHM, right? You'll see that on the outside. But on the actual entrance of the mall, when you're coming into the mall, the doors, it says Universal Mall.
So, for now.
For now. So don't get confused, all right? Don't get confused. Oh, man, you know what would have been a good thing? To take pictures when they did all this work. Oh, my goodness.
Bro, we've been taking pictures.
I mean, outside, all that stuff out there. Oh, my gosh, people, you have no
The
idea how much
construction?
the construction, the renovation, the
Sprouts.
I'm not even talking about the
sponsored.
business that's springing up around.
We're
us.
talking about just the.
I'm
Yeah,
just
there's a
talking
lot of
about the actual
construction going
building.
on over here.
Yeah.
So this Thursday or next Thursday, when are you gonna have somebody?
No, in about 2 weeks, we're looking to have a special guest, right? Like I said, it'll be in the studio. And what else? Yeah, that's in a couple weeks. So our show is going to be next week on live TV, right? On our cable channels.
24th.
The 24th.
24th?
I'm looking at the 24th, yeah. Look at the 24th for that thing.
You can have your guest.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that. We'll get more details. Next Tuesday, what's next Tuesday?
The 17th, I believe.
Next Tuesday, 6 o'clock, be here. All right?
Tune in.
Doesn't
the
matter
17th.
if you square, you bored, you don't like politics. That's okay. We'll talk about something else. So,
Next week.
everybody,
Yeah, next week.
you gotta be good,
Tuesday
fellas.
at 6
Come on,
o'clock.
everybody, holler.
Be safe.
6 o'clock.